There's been some exciting changes on the fabulous Capsule CRM over the last few weeks, so I thought I would do another overview video which incorporates those changes so you can see how it currently looks, because it's a brilliant CRM, absolutely fabulous for small businesses, service-based businesses, and for people who really want to make the most of what they do, for people who want their businesses to be successful, who want to help more clients, who want to do more of what they want to do and less of the back office stuff. Capsule is a brilliant CRM to help us do less of the back office stuff so that we can do more of what we want to do, be out there helping people, because it is a clone of your best self when it's set up properly, and it does amazing things. So it has three main areas: the data bank, the pipeline, and projects, so we can keep all of our contacts in one place. We can manage our sales conversations, and we can also manage what we deliver to our clients. So it's an all-round brilliant system, and it integrates with other brilliant systems as well. So let's dive in and have a look and see what it can do for you. So the login screen is really simple, really nice and easy to use, and there is two-factor authentication for security. And you can pop your logo onto the front screen, and you can also change the colours. You can change the appearance of the system, so it's on brand for you. So my branding is deep red, so we've got the deep red here and we have the logo on the front, and all of that helps you connect emotionally with the CRM. As soon as you open it up every morning, as soon as you go into it, it's yours. So here we are in the dashboard. And what we can see here is a side panel with the home screen, with contacts, tasks, calendar, sales pipeline, projects, reports, goals, and automations. And then in the middle area, we've got the summary of what's going on. So this scrolls chronologically, and we can see here that there's a little blue circle with a $sign in. That means it's an opportunity. Here we have a little circle with some horizontal lines, which means that this is a project, and we've got a person here, and we've got an organization here. We can also see recent activity, and we can see recent comments, because we can actually add comments to emails that we have in the system. We can add comments to activities or to tasks, and we can therefore share things with other users by adding a comment. And when a comment is made for us, then we receive a notification, which is over here on the right hand side, to say that somebody has made a comment for us. So we can also see activities. This is a demo version, so there's not many on here. We can see activities this week, tasks completed this week, and emails sent. We then get an overview of the sales pipeline. We get some really nice information, and we get an overview of the projects area as well. And on the growth plan, we have 5 different pipelines and 5 different project boards. So you can actually drill down here into those different pipelines and project boards if you want to. And then on the right hand side, it could be on the left, you can change this screen around. We have the tasks that are due today, tasks that are due in the next 7 days, tasks that are overdue, and you can add tasks here as well. We can also connect Capsule with our calendar. So I'm an Outlook user, so I have connected it with my Outlook. There's no events in today. And then underneath that, we've got goals. So we can actually have goals based on revenue targets, goals count based on the count of how many opportunities, maybe how many opportunities move into the proposal stage, how many move into a different milestone on your sales process. And we can also have goals around activity types and tasks. So you might want to have a goal which is to have 10 face-to-face meetings a month. So you could put that in because you have an activity type, activity which is face-to-face meeting. And on the growth plan, you can add activity types. On the starter plan, you get the 3 activity types, and you can have goals around those. So to change an activity type, you would go to your name, top right, go to account settings, and that's where all the behind the scenes stuff is. So that's how we set up the system. We identify different groups of people that we want on our system, so clients, potential clients, prospects, previous clients, and we create a tag for them. And then we think about who our ideal client is, and we might want to capture organisations that are in a certain industry, or we might want to work with people that perhaps are business owners or they are HR leaders. So we would set all of that up as a custom field behind the scenes. And then we have an extra brilliant level of sophistication in the system, which is a data tag. So we might have a tag networking, and then we change that to a data tag, and then we might want to capture which networking event we met that person at. And all of that is done behind the scenes. We just click into account settings. We can see information about our account, the users. Here we can access integrations. And there are a few which are really key, really important. So we can integrate with our email provider, Outlook or Gmail, and other ones. And we can integrate with our accounts packages, and we can integrate with customer support systems and all sorts of other systems. And you can go into integrations and have a look and see what integrations are available, because they're brilliant. We then have a place where we can create a contact form. We've got some brilliant Capsule AI stuff going on. We can prepare for meetings, we can summarize our notes, and there's an exciting new integration with Claude, which I'm currently playing with, and I'm going to be doing a separate video on that. But I've been able to create an amazing on-brand dashboard in Claude because I've connected Claude with my Capsule account. So it's in beta at the moment, but the dashboard tells me in one screen what's going on that day, what tasks are overdue, what I need to focus on, what my pipeline is doing, how many contacts I have, and breaking down the contacts by type if I want it to. So all exciting stuff there, and I will do another video on that. Then we have tracks. So tracks in Capsule are a series of tasks, and they help us move our opportunities through our sales pipeline, and they help us move the work that we deliver through our project board. So they're absolutely brilliant. And on the growth plan, we have automations where we can automatically add a track when the last task of the previous track is ticked off, and we can automatically move the opportunity from one milestone to the next. So tracks are really, really powerful. We have email templates in Capsule. We can connect with different mailboxes. We have the mail Dropbox, which is how we used to connect it. That's still available, and really useful. We create custom fields. We can change our pipelines to have the milestones in that reflect our sales process. We have project boards, and this is where we can change the stages in the project board to reflect our delivery process. We can add task categories. This is where we add tags and data tags. We can add different activity types in. We can even customize the title, so maybe you want doctor or professor or something like that. And then there's information about the API. We can also change the appearance here, and this is where we would change the color scheme if we wanted to. So let's have a look at the data bank, and let's have a look at the contacts in the system. And this is the area that I call the data bank. So in this demonstration version, we have 62 contacts. We can drill down and say, well, how many of those are organizations? 31 of those are organizations. We can find people based on the attributes of an organization. So say we wanted to find all of the people that work for an organization that was in a certain industry, we would be able to do that because we'd created a custom field to capture that industry, and that would probably be a single select list field. We can add filter after filter after filter. There are some ones that are given to us by the system, and then we can go to information that's out in the public domain that Capsule goes and finds for us. So that's via enrichment, really clever, absolutely brilliant, saves so much time. And then we have our own custom fields, and here I have the industry ones, so I can choose these, or I could say find organizations that are not in these industries. And we can add filter after filter, and then we can save that list. And when we go back to that list after a few days or a few weeks, the parameters of the list are saved, but the content is dynamically updated. So really, really powerful stuff. And then the next main area is the sales pipeline. And this is where we can manage what we are talking to our clients or our potential clients about. This is where we manage our opportunities and move them along the sales process. And a really nice sales process for a service-based business is initial inquiry, through to meeting call, through to proposal verbally accepted, and then maybe ending up on T's and C's, services agreement sent. Then after that, it goes to one. So this, we can pick up tiles here and move them along, and then it can go to the one bucket at the bottom. We can click into the opportunity and we can move the opportunity along the sales process. but they are so simple to create, so simple to use. So if we go to Citrus Lemon, this is a contact record. So here we can see that we've got some tags there. They are a potential client and they are a previous client as well. We can log activity here and we can see the people that work at Citrus Lemon, and we can see what services they received when they were a client. So this is a data tag, and we've popped in Service A and Service B as checkboxes. So here we have an AI summary, and if we scroll down we can see different activity that's going on the record, and we can actually drill down into those different activities and the dates that those activities were added. On the right hand side we have tasks and we have some comments. Here we have the enrichment area. Transpond is Capsule's sister company. It's an omni marketing tool. It's absolutely brilliant, but we can do some Capsule housekeeping in Transpond by setting up automation. So not only can we send out amazing email sequences, set up sign up pages, and we can even have conversations on our website, but we can also create automations that help us keep our Capsule account up to date as well. So it's a really good integration. And then at the bottom right we have events. In the middle, we have the AI summary. So this summarizes the last 50 activities that are added to the system. And we can even pin the important activities if we want to. So we just add that pin there. So the latest one is added, and we can pin 10 conversations, 10 activities. So we can keep those really important ones right at the top. And we also get a really nice summary as to what's going on. But if we go to opportunities, then we add an opportunity, and we are just going to call it test 3, and we can add contacts into there. We can add tags if we want. So say they're interested in service A, we're on the sales pipeline dem. We go in at initial inquiry, always pop in an expected close date, pop in an expected value. It can be changed, and you can even put by hour, by day, week, month, quarter, year. You can change the currency here as well, and it will actually convert that. The track is added automatically because we've set up that in an automation. And we can have an important field on the growth plan, which means that the field is mandatory, but it doesn't stop the record being saved. So we might say, okay, I want to know where all my opportunities are coming from. So let's highlight that. And if it's not filled in, then an exclamation mark appears on the opportunity. And here we set up interested in service A as a data tag, and we've got 3 separate custom fields that only pop up if that data tag is used, because tags can be added to people and organizations. A different group of tags can be added to the pipeline, and a different group of tags can be added to projects. So we can really make the system really multi-layered and more sophisticated, because there's beauty in simplicity, but sometimes we want to drill down into certain things, so we can actually have that level of sophistication in the system. So let's check box 1, and then we can have a free text field if we want, and we'd press save. We can actually change the owner, so there's more than one user on the system. We can actually create an opportunity but give it to somebody else, and we click on save, and here we have created the opportunity. And because we have adding a track as an automation, then the track is automatically added. And then when I tick the last task off, you'll see that it will move along the pipeline and a second track is added. So I'm going to tick those off. Obviously this would be done over a period of time. And here we have the second track added, and we are told that the track has been completed and the milestone has been changed to the next milestone. And then we will go through the next series of tasks that we need to do over a period of time, and then that will be completed, and the third track will be added, and the opportunity will be moved along to the third milestone. And so it carries on like that. So you can have it as simple or as complicated as you like, and you can have automations adding those tracks. You can even set up an automation so it sends out an email. And when you get to the end of the sales process, and hopefully it's been won, then you can actually automatically set up a project, and you can automatically add a track to that project, which may be client onboarding, and then maybe it's defining the project in more detail. So you have different stages on the project as well. So we've looked at an opportunity, but let's look at the overview of the entire sales pipeline. So we get a really nice view here, and we also have a nice list that we can drill down into, and we get a nice dashboard here as well, showing us some conversion rates and the pipeline, a bird's eye view there. We also get the same view on projects. So we can look at the project board, we can actually drill down into the different boards, and we can see here we've got 4 stages, so we'd name those stages relevant for our own company. So stage 1 has got these opportunity projects in, and you can drag and drop these if you want to as well. But if we look in at one of those, you can see looking very similar, and here we have the tracks and the stages at the top. Also with projects, we now get a timeline view. So if we put an expected start date and close date, then we will see a list of projects spanning the next few months. So it gives us a really nice view as to what's going on in our business, and we can drill down here into weeks, months, quarters, and we can even add a project from here, and we can drill down. So say we had lots of different projects on here, we could drill down and just look at the ones that we wanted to, maybe ones that are tagged with a certain tag, or ones that are open or closed, or ones that are at a different stage. So hopefully you have found that a really useful insight into Capsule and the way that it now looks. Do let me know if you have any questions at all on this video or any other videos, but thank you for watching, and do let me know if you have any questions.